Welcome to this History Fair video from Jersey in the Channel Islands, where we are looking at the story of Operation Hardtack 28. Hardtack 28 was one of a series of small commando raids that was carried out during the Second World War against German-occupied territory on the French coast and in the Channel Islands. The raid took place on the night of 25th and 26th December 43. The team had planned to land at Giffard Bay on Jersey's north coast, but this was changed to a smaller bay, Petit Port, a few days beforehand after new intelligence reported strong German defences on the cliffs above Giffard Bay. Captain Philip Ayton led Hardtack 28. He was commissioned into the Argyll and Southern Highlanders as a second lieutenant on the 26th of April 41 and joined the 2nd Special Boat Service in April 42. He volunteered at the last minute to take part in this raid because the original leader, who was detailed to take part, was married and he thought it would be better if he could go home for Christmas. Most raids were carried out by either number 10 Inter-Allied Commando, number 12 Commando and the Special Boat Service. According to the Hardtack 28 briefing, it states that the raiding party consisted of 6 men, with Captain Philip Ayton as British officer, a French officer, Lieutenant Leopold Hyacinth Hulot, and 4 other ranks. The mission's naval vessels were based at Dartmouth under the codename of Force 113, and the commandos travelled on board motor gunboat 329. Force 113 left Dartmouth and held position half a mile off Petit Port off Jersey's north shore. The commandos then left MGB 329 in a dory, a small rowing boat, to reach the Jersey shore, and they could only communicate with the Force 113 by torchlight. They landed at 20:45 hours undetected by the German forces. Once ashore at Petit Port, one commando hid the dory and stayed nearby while the others climbed the hillside, and their first stop was a small stone building at the top of the hill known as Wolf's Lair. From there they moved up the valley and they came across one of Jersey's many German minefields. The team headed for the hamlet of Egypt and approached the first house they saw. With its broken windows and unused appearance, this led Captain Ayton to avoid the village and take a detour. They crossed the countryside towards an M5 army observation bunker. With approximately 10,000 German troops estimated to occupy Jersey, the commandos were puzzled by the lack of resistance on the island, which was only 9 miles by 5. The commandos then headed inland by road, hoping to meet an enemy patrol. Near the occupied looking farm La Genore, they went to the house and knocked loudly. Eventually the door was opened and the occupants questioned. The brothers Hedley and John Le Breton then led the team to the nearest enemy strong point. As local farmers, they knew the German minefields and guided the commandos across the fields to the eastern edge of the resistant nest Jasmine. The commandos found no sentry or easy way into the resistance nest, and with only 45 minutes left to reach the beach, they retraced their route, avoiding the path because of the mines and abandoning the attempt to capture a German prisoner. At 04:45 hours, the team reached Petit Port, but the dory was gone. They moved north along the cliff, flashing a torch for 15 minutes, trying to attract its attention. They reached a cattle fence running down the cliff, and Captain Ayton crawled underneath. But moments later, a vivid red flash lit the area, followed by a loud explosion. Lieutenant Hulot first thought a German patrol had found them and moved forward cautiously, but he soon realised Captain Ayton had stepped on a mine. The commandos searched the cliffside until they heard a faint cry for help and found him badly wounded, caught in brambles that probably saved him from falling further down the cliff. There was no time to inspect the improvised minefield, as an enemy patrol was likely to investigate the blast. The team recovered only a small fragment of the mine before hearing the MGB about 400 yards offshore. They flashed their torch again, and the MGB sent back the dory. After much difficulty, they got Captain Ayton down the cliff and re-embarked at about 05:20 hours. Captain Ayton later died of his injuries and was buried in Dartmouth Long Cross Cemetery. Despite Ayton's death, the operation was deemed a success. The team returned with barbed wire samples, intelligence on enemy strength, and thanks to the Breton brothers, a detailed interview. Soon after Hardtack 28, Major General Bob Laycock, Commando General, ended the raids because they thought enemy reinforces that could have hindered the invasion of German-occupied France. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe and share it with your friends.